Well, good morning, my friend, and welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. It is Wednesday morning, February the 26th. This month is almost over. Boy, can you believe we've almost got 2 months of 2025 under our belt, flying by. Month of March is right around the corner, first Sunday of March, this coming Sunday, and then time change the next Sunday. And for those who are like me, we like daylight savings time, and I love it when when we have that extra hour at nighttime. Great time for going soul winning, and I'm always looking forward to that. And being able to see more people out, reaching more people. That's kind of my mindset. Whatever I like, whatever allows me to be able to reach more people, and that's what I enjoy. And I hope that you're having a good day and a good week. We're in the middle of the week, and this is that time that we make everything happen. And so I'd encourage you, whatever you do, let's stay busy for the Lord and let's see what God can't do for us. Good day on yesterday. Was able to get some hospital calls in, and then being able just to get a lot of work done, getting ready for the Old Past Conference. And I'd encourage you now, if you're coming, register. We're looking forward to a good time, and I'm seeing what God's going to do. We've got some great things that are going to be taught. Several new things are putting out this year in book wise. Just several books. Of course, my book on the Christian home comes out. My daughter has a book on pearls, and I think Pearl and Grace. My assistant pastor, Brother Trimble, is putting a book out on the book of Proverbs that you'll enjoy. We're putting out a Sunday school lesson, 46 Sunday school lesson for children on Bible stories, and then another book that is a coloring pages that goes along with that first book. So there's a lot of things coming out. And I'd encourage you be here now. And this is just going to be a great week of preaching and information that's going to be taught. Register at oldpathsconference.com. Now, if you're looking for a hotel, if you hit the hotel tab, it's a Hampton Inn. That's what we suggest, $79. And great hotel. I'd encourage you to come be a part of the conference. We're looking forward to that. And if you're in the area, bring your church with you, even if you're not. Hey, we're looking forward to a great amount of people coming. Looking forward to that. Well, today, let's look at Judges chapter 13 and verse 16. And the scripture says, "And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread, and thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer unto the Lord. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord." Now, an angel had come to Manoah and his wife about them having the child Samson. Now, when the angel came, Manoah and his wife thought that the angel was a man of God. That's what they thought. After the angel initially appeared to Manoah's wife, he prayed and asked God, "Oh, my Lord, notice, the man of God which thou didst send come again unto us." Now, from the time the angel appeared to them, they treated this angel as a man of God. They only knew that he was an angel when he ascended up into the flame of the sacrifice that they made at the altar. Then they knew that this was an angel. Now, there's a critical principle that is seen in this story that I think that this generation has so lost. And that principle is the importance of treating the man of God with respect. The respect Manoah gave to this angel was how he felt the man of God should be treated. Now, it is sad that many in our day have lost the respect for God's man. And don't tell me it's because, well, so many men of God are falling. That's a bunch of hogwash, and that's a bunch of backsliders out there who want to criticize men of God. That's all that is, because there's more men of God. There's thousands of men of God who have not failed. And you little Pharisees out there that want to go out and make your little platform about pointing out the few men of God that have messed up. Get right with God and go soul winning. I'm tired of that kind of mess. These men of God ought to get out of the pulpit because they don't expose their own sin. But the truth is, just because a few men of God have fallen in sin does not give anyone the right to stop respecting God's men, ever. There are many more men of God who have not fallen in sin. But the rebels are the ones who champion the cause of disrespecting the man of God. And by the way, it's funny. They want their children to respect them, but they don't want to respect the man of God as the Bible teaches and shows us. Now, I want to share several principles about the importance of respecting your man of God. First, the degree of respect you give to your man of God shows your respect for God. Listen to me. God, listen, God has given you a pastor. Okay, and that's your man of God. And you and no, and he is God's representative to you. Yes, he is a sinner. Nobody argues that that a preacher is not a sinner, but who he represents is deserving of our respect. God shows throughout the scriptures the importance of treating his men with respect and not treating them with the respect that and or treat not and not treating them with respect is to endanger God's blessings on your own life and likely bring God's chasing hand upon you. Second, you should respect the man of God enough to want his advice in your life. Manoah asked God to send the man of God back to teach him how to raise Samson. He said, I want to know. Now, it's sad that many foolishly avoid the preacher's counsel because of their pride. That's all it is. Now, no preacher has the answer for everything. We understand that, but he is God's representative to you. And God does give him wisdom to help you. Now, when you read the book of Revelation, you see that God gives the pastor wisdom for each church. Therefore, you'd be wise to have enough respect of your pastor to ask his advice about decisions you're about ready to make, especially life-changing decisions. Third, you should treat your man of God by doing good to him. You'll notice Manoah and his wife wanted to prepare a meal for this angel who they thought was a man of God. I believe it's good to care for the physical needs of your pastor. Now, you will never do wrong by spoiling your pastor, ever. Your pastor faces constant criticism from backslidden people, and to have someone spoil him only encourages him. Now, I'm not now. Don't get me wrong. I know he's a man, and we're not. Oh, I don't worship men, and you're an idiot too. You do worship men. You've done that throughout your whole history. Your styles that you wear because you saw somebody else. So don't give that to me. These Pharisees, I'm telling you, I'm fed up to my neck with a bunch of Pharisees in the Christianity. We all have men that we admire and respect. Every one of us do. If you don't, stop talking about anybody in history because you say, well, I only worship God. Yeah, no, you don't. Because if you did, you'd respect the men of God that God's placed in your life. Your man of God faces criticism week in and week out. And I'd much rather be guilty of spoiling my pastor by encouraging him about a good sermon he preaches or about how he's leading or how he's helping than to tear him down and be the critic, than to be the Shimei that throws the stones at the man of God. Listen, respect God enough to respect his man. Listen, okay, I pastor Maranatha Baptist Church. And by the way, I'm not talking to my people. My people are great to me. So I'm talking to men of God out there, people who are listening from around the country. There's men of God. They give their life for you. They sacrifice. They go on. Many of them. Some of them. There's a lot of bivocational pastors that have to work a secular job just to pay the bills. These men deserve the respect by their people to say, listen, this man's working 2 jobs, and for me to sit there and criticize him, God help your wicked soul. There ought to be men of God that ought to be championed. And this crowd, well, I'm not going to worship man because they're sinners. Then you be the first one at the altar. How about it? I'm just tired of this generation. We've lost the respect. There, many of you. Okay, let me just go down this road just a little bit. There's many of you that will lift up our current president. Oh, what a great president! What a great president! But you won't say a lick about your pastor helping you. What a shame! What a shame! You talk about sports all day long, and oh, what a great! That's my favorite player. You're bragging on a man, so stop. See, the truth is, these Pharisees, their problem is they want to live like the world and they want to be God. But God gives us men of God. I've never regretted treating my man of God right, ever. He deserves respect. You ought not to call him by his first name. You ought to respect him enough to say, hey, pastor so-and-so, or brother so-and-so. Don't ever call your pastor by his first name. That's a very disrespectful. Well, we're in 2025, preacher. Yeah, and 2025 has lost a lot of respect. Look at society. We were a whole lot better off in that day when we had respect for the men of God. Boy, my mom and dad always taught me and that to respect the men of God, and we ought to. We ought to. Well, what if they've fallen? God will take care of that. That's his business. That's not mine. My job is not to go around and publish about everybody else and what they're doing. My job is to respect the man of God. God's able to take his men down. Look at David. David messed up. God exposed it. Look at Saul. Saul messed up. God exposed it. Listen to me. God's always able to expose the men of God. And I could go through men in my lifetime that God has exposed. Now, let God take care of that. Well, let's stay busy trying to reach the lost, and let's do our best. Listen to me now. Let's respect our men of God. Understand He cares for your soul. He prays. He walks with God. He wants the best for you. I know that. I believe that with all my heart. I know for my church, man, I just die on the inside. I want to help my people so bad. Can I tell you, there ought to be a respect. You know what? You ought to, every once in a while, you ought to spoil him. Just do something special for him because you love him. When you're doing that, you're treating God right. You show me how you treat your preacher, I show you how you treat God. And I'm telling you this, these religious zealots out there who say we're just only going to serve God. You look at their lives, and I guarantee it, nobody can tell them what to do, even God. And see how much they go soul winning. See how much they run a bus route. See if they teach, just see how much they're doing for God. And until they're starting to do stuff like that, I think they need to just be quiet. Respect your man of God. It's not that you're respecting him, it's the position he holds that deserves the respect. And because of that, we ought to respect it in a right way. Give it the respect. God takes care of leaders, but let's respect those who hold that position. My friend, you'll never regret it. And mom and dad, teach your children the same thing. But it starts with you. If you respect the men of God, your children will too. Well, I hope this is a help to you today. Now, let's be good to